See, this is the shit motherfuckers don't realize. These motherfuckers were talking about this shit way back in the day. Because if you read the beginning of this, it's almost like Alexander Hamilton predicted the fucking Civil War. But this is one of my favorite pieces from the Federalist Papers. Not that part. Where is it? See, this is where he's talking about, like, oh, if a civil war were to break out. But where is it? Here we go. I'm like, why isn't this a law? If the representatives of the people betray their constituents, there is no resource left but in the exertion of that original right of self-defense. Because this is already after they fucking wrote the Constitution and made the amendments to the Constitution. These are just, I mean, I don't know how many of y'all have ever read the Federalist Papers. These were just opinion pieces. These were just, newspaper articles that the founding fathers were writing. Fucking Alexander Hamilton, fucking John Adams. These motherfuckers were just writing in newspapers how they believed we need to operate. Like, I wish this shit was law. What he's saying right here. If the representatives of the people betray their constituents, there is then no resource left but in the exertion of that original right of self-defense, which is paramount to all positive forms of government, and which against the usurpation of the national rulers may be exerted with infinitely better prospect of success than against those of the rulers of an individual state. In a single state, if the person entrusted with supreme power become usurpers, the different parcel subdivisions or districts of which it consists have no distinct government, and each can take no regular measures for defense. The citizens must rush to that is funny as hell. The citizens must rush tumultuously to arms, without concern, without concert, without system, without resource, except in their courage and despair. The usurpers, clothed with the forms of legal authority, can too often crush the opposition in embryo. Yeah, that's what are we seeing right now? Oh, you're out there with your, signs in Minnesota, mad at the federal government is being overbearing, snatching people up and killing people in the streets, and they're out here with poster boards. We need to crush the opposition in embryo. The smaller the extent of the territory, the more difficult it will be for the people to form a regular or systematic plan of opposition, and the more easy it will be to defeat their early efforts. Intelligence can be more speedily obtained of their preparations and movements, and the military force. Yeah, look, these niggas was talking about this shit back in the 1700s. That's wild as hell. Intelligence can be more speedily obtained of their preparations and movements, and the military force in the possession of the usurpers can be more rapidly directed against the part where the opposition has begun. In this situation, there must be a peculiar coincidence of circumstance to ensure success to the popular resistance. These motherfuckers were talking about this shit fucking 200 years ago, dude. The obstacles, let's see. I forgot this part. Let's see. The obstacles to usurpation and the facilities of resistance increase with the increased extent of the state. Okay, well, yeah, that's what we're seeing that shit. Provided the citizens understand their rights are disposed to defend them. The natural strength of the people in a large community in proportion to the artificial strength of the government. Look at that. We're talking about, you got a little puppet ass government. You're just like putting your friends in there and you're a molester. You're a molester. I'm going to fucking put you in places of power. And, oh, that's wild as hell. This is exactly what these motherfuckers are talking about. What's going on right now is exactly what these motherfuckers were writing in newspaper articles in the 1700s. Where are we at? The natural strength of the people in a large community in proportion to the artificial strength of the government is greater than in a small and, of course, more competent to a struggle with the attempts of the government to establish a tyranny. But in a confederacy of the people, without exaggeration, may be said to be entirely the masters of their own fate. Power being almost always the rival of power, the general government will at all times stand ready to check the usurpations of the state governments. That's exactly what they're doing. Oh, we're going to go into Minnesota and and these will have the same disposition towards the general government. The people, by throwing themselves into either scale, will infallibly make it preponderate. If their rights are invaded by either, they can make use of the other as the instrument of redress. And that's literally what the First Amendment is for. How wise will it be in them by cherishing the Union to preserve to themselves an advantage which can never be too kindly prized? This is why I love the Federalist paper. Like, this is the shit I loved, like, reading this shit when I was in 7th grade. And I'm like, how is this not law? How is this not a law? And we could all jump through all this shit, but no, this is like my favorite part of the Federalist paper is like Alexander Hamilton shit. All this shit. Y'all need to fucking read a book sometimes. Yeah, sorry it's on the internet. Sorry, it's an app that I download. I have an app of the Federalist Papers. When's the last time any of y'all read the Federalist Papers? But this is literally what we're going through right now. And it's like, hey, the way these motherfuckers be operating, is like, there's certain things that people can do to, you know, exercise your First and your Second Amendment rights, especially when they're fucking violating your First, Second, almost Third, definitely the Fourth. Wild as hell.